Hi, for those who are new to this channel, my name is Sifa Gatami and this is the show where we keep it real. So today's discussion, we're actually focusing on how can we restore damaged friendships, or how can we restore damaged relationships. My question to you is, have you ever been in such a situation of a broken relationship, and how did you get out of it? How did you solve it? That said, I do have this friend of mine. We've been good friends for quite some time, and it reached a point in time where I felt annoyed. I felt like I was giving too much in this relationship, and on the other hand, I felt like she was not giving too much in the friendship. Okay, so I became bitter. I started complaining. Okay, to myself especially, like, oh, she's not doing this, she's not doing this, blah 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 blah, you know, all those things that can get into our heads. And during that period of my time when I was annoyed with her, I used to have various kind of thoughts until I was contemplating of quitting this kind of friendship. I was like, I'm so done. But during that moment again, I decided, why can't I just pray about it? Because in the first place, I didn't take myself there. I felt like it was God's plan for we to be friends. It was not something that we just wake up and be like, yeah, you're my friend. So when I was complaining at the same time, praying, I prayed to God that, God, I want to quit this friendship. I'm going, and I'm not waiting anymore. And during that phase of my life, when I was praying to God to allow me let go, God was very silent. He never answered me. And I was just stuck. I was just there. What should I do? So when it reached a point where I decided enough is enough. I'm not even waiting. I'm just quitting this. Okay? Because I felt it was draining. It was killing me from inside. So I remember this particular time. I don't know if she's the one who called me or I'm the one who called her to meet in town. And I was going to town with this mindset like, it's done. I'm going to express to her, just tell her my mind, and that's it. So I took myself, we met in town, and when we met there, we kind of embraced, you know, that kind of joy that, hey, I've missed you. It has been a long time before we saw each other and everything. And I realized that she, on the other hand, had no idea that she had offended me. So all along, I was the one who was having this burden. Okay? So imagine if I never told her and said to quit and move forward. She would have never understood why I left. Okay? So that said, I want to take us back to Matthew 18, verse 15. What does the Word of God tells us? The Word of God tells us that if a friend offends you, what do? Meet the person alone and tell him or tell her what she or he has done to you. And during that period, okay, I would say, for instance, in the 21st century right now, maybe back then they never had phones. Right now, people might be in other countries or in other counties. So what can you do? If you cannot meet them, if you cannot meet the people up, you call them or you text them and express or pour your heart out of what they have done to you. Okay? So when we met, we were just talking there, and then she asked me, how have you been? Another time when I felt like I need to tell her my mind. Okay? So I was contemplating, should I tell her or should I just keep it in my heart? And I said, enough is enough. I just told her what I was thinking about her and how she had offended me. And the first thing she told me, she actually listened, and the first thing she told me was, I'm very sorry. And the moment she said that and we forgave one another, something just broke. Like something just lifted. And we could embrace there, and we didn't even care if people were around us in that restaurant, because you were in a restaurant. We didn't care. We just turned the whole session into prayer, and we prayed about our friendship. We prayed for God to lead and guide our relationship or our friendship. That was amazing. So I'm just trying to think, if I had decided to just walk without telling her, I would be the loser, and I would be I will not be practicing what the Bible tells us, because most times we read the Word of God, but we don't want to practice what the Word of God tells us. And what I want to say here, my key message here is, if someone wrongs us, what is the first thing we ought to do? I believe that as Christians, what we are supposed to do is, as opposed to complaining like how I complained about her, I would have taken the initiative of praying for her, because probably she was in a phase, or she was in a difficult phase that needed my prayers. But I opted not to pray for her. I focused on self as opposed on us or her. Okay, so guys, let us learn to appreciate people and just pray for our friends before we even mention the faults, because we never know what period or what phase they are going through. So that said, I hope you've learned something from it, and if so, I would love to hear your comments.